Welcome to Digital Adhyapak.
The question is, show that the product of three consecutive natural numbers is divisible by 6. Now, first of all, if it is being said we have to take three consecutive natural numbers, then we will take the numbers as n plus 1 and n plus 2. So, let the three natural numbers, or you can write consecutive natural numbers, consecutive natural numbers are n plus 1 and n plus 2. Now students, we have to prove the product of these three, that is n plus 1 and n plus 2 will be divisible by 6. Now, if we go to the basics, you must be knowing that any number which is divisible by 6 must be divisible by 2 and 3. So, what we have to prove is that we have to prove that the product of these three is divisible by 2 also and is divisible by 6 also. Sorry, 3 also. So, you know students that any number which is even is divisible by 2. So, if we take, let us suppose n is even. Now if n is even, then what will happen? N plus 1 is odd and n plus 2 again is even. So that means n is equal to 2q plus 0, n plus 1 is equal to 2q plus 1, and n plus 2 again is equal to 2q plus 0. So if we multiply n into n plus 1 into n plus 2, that is the product, that will be equal to 2q plus 0, that is 2q, into 2q plus 1 and again into 2q. So definitely this number is in the form 2m, so divisible, it is divisible by 2. Now suppose we have taken the first case where n was an even number. If n is an even number, then the product of these three is divisible by 2. Let us check what happens if n is an odd number. If n is odd. Now if n is odd, then what will happen? This will imply that n plus 1 will be even and n plus 2 will again be odd. So you can check now, then n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 will become equal to 2q plus 1, that is odd, into 2q and into 2q plus 1. Odd into even, and again you can see this can be represented in the form 2m. So it is divisible by 2. So students, we have seen that whether n be even or whether n be odd, the product of these three will be divisible by 2. Now let us check whether the product of these three will be divisible by 3 or not. So students, we already know that 1 out of any 3 consecutive positive integers is divisible by 3. So students, you already have proved this question that 1 out of 3 consecutive numbers is divisible by 3. So either of n plus 1 or n plus 2, any one will be divisible by 3. So if we take the product, then the product is n. We can write therefore n into n plus 1 into n plus 2. Out of these three, any one is divisible by 3. So the product becomes equal to in the form of 3m, which is divisible by 3. So it is divisible by 3. Now students, you can check. From here we have got that n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 was divisible by 2. Second case, when we have taken n as odd, again we have got that n into n plus 1 n plus 2 is divisible by 2, that is in the form of 2m. And in the third case, whether n be even or odd, out of these three, one will be divisible by 3, so they will be definitely in the form of 3m. So again it is also divisible by 3. So we can conclude, if we take it as 1, this is as 2 and this one as 3, then we can conclude, so from 1, 2 and 3 we conclude that product of three consecutive numbers, that is n into n plus 1 into n plus 2, is divisible by 2 and 3, and that is divisible by 6. Thank you.